Hey, Peter.
How's it going? Great to see you, Dimitri.
It's great to see you. I'm super excited to be chatting with you.
Same.
For folks that don't know who you are, could you maybe tell us a bit about yourself and what you're doing?
Sure thing. So, I'm the founder and CEO of The Upgrade, which is an online training company really focused on bridging the AI digital skills gap. And I've been working closely with MindStudio for the last 6 or 7 months to be able to build their certification and education programming for the MindStudio Academy.
Yeah, and so you're running the academy and training people, certifying people for the
Right.
purpose of what's the value of the certification to them?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we've had over 120 paying students come through at this point. We launched our first cohort in early January 2024, and the students are coming for a variety of reasons, right? First of all, many of them are really aware acutely that the job market is demanding these AI skills. And more importantly, many of them are coming from enterprises, right? Or they're coming from SMBs or small agencies, some solopreneurs. They're all coming with a mission of digital transformation and automation using AI. And they have a huge variety of problems to solve. All of them are really coming in organically, which is pretty amazing. They've discovered MindStudio, they've played around with it a little bit. They want to level up and get a credential that's really meaningful in the workplace. And they want to be able to, yeah, have a fluency with how MindStudio AIs can lead digital transformation, how it integrates with third party applications, right? How you should be thinking like a solutions architect or product manager when you're even approaching building an AI solution for a business, whether it's your own or others. But we have a really rigorous curriculum that we're super excited about. We've been building it in partnership with the product team at Mind Studio, and it's, yeah, something we're building iteratively as we go here. It's been experimental, but we're at a point where we're really locking it down, and we're very excited about serving our students who've come from Apple, they've come from NASA, they've come from Salesforce. We're talking Adobe. It seems like every cohort we're having new organizations represented, and all coming with the same mission of exploring Mind Studio in really great detail as a solution for, you know, digital innovation, essentially.
Mhm. Yeah, and when I think you reached out to me months ago. How did you discover Mind Studio? You were teaching at a university, right? Can you remind me?
That's right. Yeah. So my background is as a lecturer at UC Berkeley. I've been teaching there for 7 years in the new media program of the Graduate School of Journalism. And I basically started the upgrade to be able to scale that teaching business. Instead of teaching once a semester, I can now teach several classes at once. And so it was during one of my first cohorts in, I guess, early fall 2023, where I discovered Mind Studio first, and I was blown away immediately. I was looking for new AI tools to teach my students, and I was completely floored at the possibilities and even the state of the platform at that point.
Mhm.
And I started teaching it in class, teasing it as a really high powered alternative to some of the nascent chatbots that you can do some things with, but they're so limited. And my students immediately grabbed onto it. And during my one on one AI coaching calls with many of them, that's all they wanted to talk about. And so we end up building Mind Studio AIs in a lot of my courses. And it really just became almost the majority of the final projects in my courses were Mind Studio AIs, right?
This is at UC Berkeley.
So this originally, so I haven't taught Mind Studio AIs at UC Berkeley because I didn't discover it until after I finished teaching my last course there
Got it, got
last
it, got
summer.
it. Okay,
Yeah.
makes sense. Yeah. And so now that you've taught all these cohorts, and it sounds like you guys have sort of restructured the curriculum a bit, right? Where there are now like multiple courses and there's like a track. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So there's 3 levels of certification now, and that tracks and matches with the 3 different levels of instruction and mastery that we're teaching to. So originally at the beginning of this year of 2024, we had a one size fits all approach, 8-hour course of live instruction, and we've really condensed that 8 hours into 3 hours. We've then elevated the level of teaching for the rest of the curriculum and really jammed in a lot. We have very high level of expectations and teaching methodology. Uh, to just give people an idea of how those 3 levels are structured, the first one, AI Fundamentals with MindStudio, is really focusing on going beyond some of the documentation and YouTube tutorials to have a full understanding and grasp of all of the features of MindStudio, what you can do with it, where they live, how to get started building your first AIs. And it's something that then they build towards level 2 with some of the higher level features, including things like embedding, API access, third party integration with custom functions. We go into great detail into all of those aspects. And in level 3, Mind Studio for Business Solutions, it's really now applying all of that mastery that they've built up of Mind Studio and these integrations strategically. So focusing on how does this fit within the larger context of a business or within an organization, and how to best approach problem solving with Mind Studio AIs.
Hmm. And then after these classes, people take a test,
Exactly.
a graded project, and then they get certified.
Exactly. Yep. So we have 3 different exams, right? And you can take these, by the way, standalone too. You can take level 1 exam for 50 bucks directly if you've studied the documentation and really spent some time in Mind Studio and come to or watched a lot of the live presentations. Then you can certainly take that path to certification as well. Level 2
Mhm,
is similar. The exams, I should say, are a mixture of multiple choice as well as the real emphasis is building, right?
mhm,
So, or troubleshooting or debugging. It's very much hands on. And we have a head of assessment now who's in charge of providing individualized feedback to be able to give, even as the exam is graded, real tailored suggestions for improving your fluency with Mind Studio. And the level 3 exam in particular is a combination of this multiple choice questions as well as a pretty extensive final project. You have a week to complete it. It includes not just building out Mind Studio AIs, but also building out a client formal business proposal and giving a pitch, right? And so we want to make sure that everyone leaving our program at the level 3, the highest level of certification, is really ready to not only explain and articulate and build in Mind Studio, but actually communicate effectively with other stakeholders of the value of it. The strategy is, clearly linked to the organizational goals. And so we really have almost MBA level, really, I know from teaching at Berkeley, type of curriculum and expectations, and that we're really, really excited about.
I get pinged directly, and sometimes people post on social media complimenting us on training and kind of raving about it. Don't find people typically raving about technical training, but they are, and yeah. So I think you guys are killing it. That's amazing. And now you're getting more and more of sort of agencies, right? Partners, again, for those watching, as enterprises discover that they can use AI to be radically more productive and efficient and faster and smarter, like all the things that enterprises of all sizes and all types and all industries want to do. They're showing up and training their own employees and sending them to Peter's classes. And a bunch of them are asking, well, could I just hire somebody? Could I hire like a consultant or a partner or an agency to do this for me? And so they're coming to us asking for that. And they're also out there asking their existing IT service providers to help them build Mind Studio things, implement Mind Studio. And so we get an organic flow of new partners that just show up every day that say, hey, we're already using Mind Studio to service our clients, and now we want to learn more, get certified. And so that's something newish, like it's been happening for a couple of months. But it used to be like enterprises that were coming, and now it's enterprises and these integration partners. And so I
Exactly.
suspect you guys are adjusting and teaching them some of the skills they need as well to represent Mind Studio sort of out there.
Exactly. Yeah, we're getting a lot of inbound from agencies, from partners who are, working with businesses of all sizes and shapes. And our goal is to really tailor. We cap our classes at 15, Dimitri, right? So we have real live student interactions. We take real time questions. It's not just really pumping out, blitzing through the material. We do go fast, but we really focus on allowing time for individual instruction, and the office hours are really key for that too. So
Mhm.
those who purchase the bundle not only get to take and even retake any of the 3 levels of live instruction, but I think one of the best values, frankly, and probably why a lot of the students leave really excited and energized and are posting positive reviews. I'm seeing them too on LinkedIn, and it's because of the community we're building around this product education, right? And it's because we have people coming in, sharing their knowledge, sharing also their problems, and we're helping to troubleshoot as a team on the MindStudio Academy side,
Mhm.
as well as other students are helping to actively solve each other's problems and share AI builds. We have a private library of AI builds and are building this taxonomy and database of shared, fully built AIs to help people learn from examples, right? Only accessible to our students. And we have also people coming in to office hours saying they haven't even graduated. In some cases, they haven't even taken the level 1 exam yet, but they're coming and saying, I have a client and I need help from 2 or 3
Yeah.
builders who are familiar with MindStudio. I don't care if you're even certified or not, just like, can you help today? Like, and they're jumping on calls immediately after office hours and working on projects together. So we're building up this collaborative ethos and ecosystem and community, and we're really big on peer-to-peer learning and sharing, and it's super exciting. It's I leave those calls continuously impressed by the level and caliber of our student learners.
I see them afterwards, and I certainly am impressed by the graduates. And I have seen this phenomenon that you were just describing, where people just start learning to use Mind Studio and start telling people about it. They're like, "Oh, I'm learning to do this. Let me show you like this little thing I built." And then all of a sudden, they're like, "Hold on, you do that? Well, I've got a need. Like I've got money. Can you build it for me?" And so all of a sudden, these people that are just themselves learning to use Mind Studio, all of a sudden have a client that's like willing to pay them money. And
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
In
that's a
some
rare
cases.
thing. Like it's hard to go to college and as a freshman all of a sudden discover there's like all these people want to pay you money for your knowledge. But that's happening here like in the first sometimes first day, like first week of your education. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's wild. It's something we weren't really prepared for, even the scale of sort of the demand for our students and even, yeah, not even graduates, but our students, right?
Right.
I'm still getting inbound emails directly and LinkedIn messages asking for students to be connected with them for real projects. And we're of course directing everyone now to the partner program at Mind Studio, who's directly facilitating this, which is the avenue, if you're watching, you should go through, please. It's just evidence of this real sort of aggressive demand. And once people understand, let me give you an example. Our current lecturers who came through the entire program, one of the earlier cohorts, he was playing around with Mind Studio, wandering around, I believe, yeah, somewhere in LA, wandered into a meditation studio, had an interesting conversation with the owner as he walked in, and he had his first client literally for a Mind Studio build like an hour later. She hired him the next day to build something for her business to have a very personalized AI automation experience for, yeah, her business to be more personalized to its customers, right? And
Mhm.
this is something that's happening every day.
Yeah, that totally makes sense, and that's what an opportunity. Every business in the world generally can benefit from AI and needs it and doesn't know how to build it. And like anybody that shows up and starts learning, all of a sudden can go and do work now and get paid for it. That's incredible.
Yeah.
And so if somebody wants to learn to do this thing, what's the right way for them to start? Like what should they do?
Yeah, that's a great question. First of all, there's some amazing YouTube videos out there. Start there. There's over 100, and your team, Dimitri, is amazing, right? Luis, Giorgio, all the others involved in making those amazing tutorials are doing a fantastic job. Start there, explore. There's some great introductory videos. There's also a couple of series of videos that you can walk through on your own. Once you explore, we typically encourage people to have some fluency and initial understanding, maybe try building their first AI or so before they even come to level one. Because
Mhm.
we go fast through a build along environment where we expect people to know some of the general terminology. We still do an overview beforehand. So some people coming in completely cold can still get up to speed and
Yeah, but it's
they get the
better if they've at
recordings.
least played with the product for a little bit. That totally
Of course.
makes sense.
After you explore the product, start on, yeah, one of the starter plans and start tinkering, watch the YouTube video, then check out the MindStudio Academy. We have programming typically twice a month now on Saturdays, and we have this segmented out in 3-hour live instructional blocks, right? So you
Mhm.
can learn at your own pace. You can access the recordings instantly if you purchase the bundle and start learning with these longer, tailored, intentionally structured programs that are gonna help you get a leg up faster than going through 100 YouTube videos, right? I
Mhm.
mean, the videos are amazing, but it's a lot. And a lot of the problem that we're solving, honestly, for Dimitri is helping to condense and organize and provide a learning path through
Totally.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And so how long till from time somebody discovers Mind Studio to the time that they can start doing something and till time they're like mastering? Do you have a feel for that now?
Yeah. So currently we have roughly a 60-day window that we're encouraging people to go through the whole program through, right? That includes typically coming to 2 different live weekends worth of courses, right? In many cases, they're retaking them as well as coming to office hours, building their own side projects as they practice and bone
Mhm.
up. For those getting started, they're able to build after the level one things that can already impress their colleagues, right?
Mhm.
And can already, in some cases, lead to, yeah, revenue generating opportunities, right?
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
level two, it takes, yeah, another couple weeks of really practicing, building, and understanding the higher level aspects to be able to build things that integrate seamlessly, headlessly, for example, with third party software applications. And so that's something that takes a bit longer. And some of this is exploring and dependent on a student's use cases, right? They might
Totally.
also need to learn Zapier at the same time. They might
Of course.
also need to learn something else if they're not familiar with it,
Mhm.
which can, depending on what their priorities are, could take a little longer, right? So that can slow things down occasionally, but people stay on the path and they come, and typically within a month, if they're, yeah, starting from zero in terms of AI knowledge, able to leave fully certified at the highest level, if they're applying themselves, coming to office hours, taking advantage of the recordings, all of the proprietary resources and materials that we have, and we're always available to consult if people are really hitting a wall. We take those one-on-one calls, and we are really happy to make sure that we support students individually, because everyone's coming from a different industry, from a different background. Some people have product management experience, some people have coding experience, some people have
Mhm.
zero, and but they have this amazing domain industry experience and knowledge, right? And it's the combination of that with the Mind Studio tools and skill sets and knowledge
Yeah.
that's really unlocking the amazing opportunities and AI automations, applications, and assistants they're building in their workspaces. That is the beauty.
Yeah, I think this is an interesting thing that is unique in this time of generative AI and Mind Studio, is that it used to be that the valuable skill was the ability to write code. That was always the bottleneck. And subject matter experts would beg developers to build them some tools, and they would have to communicate typically through a product person or a product and UX person to the engineer, generally the type of tool that would be valuable for them as a business user. But they were the subject matter expert, but that had sort of limited value in getting the tools that they needed. Now all of that's completely shifted, where that's the most important thing. Like all the other
Absolutely.
stuff in a sense becomes almost irrelevant. Where now it's the real value is that you realize that there's some kind of a process that exists in your organization or many organizations, and you know how that process is supposed to run, and you know where all the bottlenecks are. And now you can look at them and say, oh, I can just automate this and I can refactor this and then just do it and not wait for any developers, not have to explain it to anyone, just do it this afternoon and create this output. And that's just, I think that's transformative. I think that's things
It's
get lost
radical.
in communication all the time.
Yeah,
These multiple levels, things took a long time. You couldn't experiment. Now, 15 minutes to a couple of hours, and you're like radically transforming businesses and doing multivariate testing and things like that. Like you could never imagine that for Mind Studio.
absolutely. Yeah, it's amazing what students are able to accomplish when they really focus on their even their individual pain points, right? Everyone suddenly now is thinking like a product manager. Even if they don't know what that term is, they're forced to, right, in many ways. And that's what we're teaching. And in particular, in the level 3 content, right, is how to approach something with a framework and methodology and a mindset to be building for either yourself, your organization, your client, your customer in a really strategic way. So you're efficient. So you're optimizing for solving those problems properly. And you're
Mhm,
thinking about some of the other factors at play in a rigorous way. And so it's really
mhm.
fun to see students who are working, for example, in, yeah, a furniture retailer or manufacturer, distributor, for example, coming in and after a week of class, having variety of what used to be partners in their business now become their clients and
Yeah.
customers, and they're having to figure out really quickly how to build AI applications and automations for these new people. And we fill in the gaps, right? We give them
Mhm,
the skills and the knowledge and the framework to get there. And it's really rewarding. I love what we're doing with the Academy. I think we're just at the beginning of this thing, and it's only going to continue to grow and get more robust in terms of these pre recorded modules that we're going to be rolling out later this summer to fill in even some more of these gaps and provide alternative pathways for
mhm,
learners based on their preferences, probably with the MindStudio AI guiding them through the curriculum.
mhm. I'm certain that's true. In fact, as you just brought up, the skill set that is generally learned is the skill set that's represented highly in product management. And so, for people that don't come from a product management background, taking your courses actually teaches them product management, the core of it, the most important stuff of it, how to think in that way. And in this case, also implement. So, both. But I
Yeah,
also think that all people that are working in product management already need to completely refactor the way they think because
totally.
product management in the age of AI is different than product management before, meaningfully different. A bunch of the fundamentals are the same, but there's some shifts you need to make in order to be a successful, thriving product manager in the age of AI. And you guys are already there, and I think just poised to take that. Yeah.
Yeah, we see that.
Yeah, that's amazing. All right. Well, thanks so much for spending time with me today.
My
Yeah, and
pleasure.
thanks for being such an amazing partner. When you first reached out and we chatted and you said, "Hey, I want to build this and I want to build a training curriculum and train and certify people." I said that totally makes sense. And it was clear even from those early conversations that you would do a great job with it. And here we are. And so amazing and thank you.
Our pleasure. Yeah, we love working with your team one step at a time. It's only going to get better from here. And yeah, we love working with students, and I see just so much success already happening for many of them who've taken this leap and joined us. But yeah, can't wait for the road ahead with Mind Studio, Dimitri. Your team's moving so fast. It's always fun to see what's rolling out this next week that we turn around and immediately integrate into our programs. And yeah, it's a blast.
Yeah, it's kind of Apple-esque, if I might say, like this sort
Totally.
of how coordinated this thing is. Of like we launch product, you guys are instantly training on it, and you're changing people's lives. They come to you, They rave about it online. They message me, and yeah, it's transformative. Yeah. Okay. Thanks so much.
My pleasure. Thanks, Dimitri.
Mhm.